This one is for all my MCAS friends who have a shrinking list of foods you can tolerate. If this is you, you're not alone. In one survey, 41% of people with MCAS limited their diet to 20 foods or less. I'm here to tell you why the low histamine diet, FODMAP diet, or severe restriction of any kind is not the long-term answer to your problems. So let's talk about it. First of all, MCAS is so much more than just histamine. We often mix up mast cell dysfunction with histamine intolerance, but these are two different conditions. Histamine intolerance means your body isn't very good at metabolizing histamine in the foods that you eat. MCAS, on the other hand, is when mast cells are overreactive and inappropriately triggered by all kinds of things, not just histamine. So what is histamine's role in MCAS? When mast cells are triggered, they send out a bunch of mediators that cause our symptoms, and histamine is just one of them. The trigger does not have to be histamine to cause a release of histamine in the body. So it makes sense why antihistamines can help alleviate some of our symptoms. But as for avoiding eating foods with histamine in them, this might help a little bit, might help a lot, or might actually not help at all. It depends on you, what your biggest triggers are, and it's very possible that high histamine foods are actually low-hanging fruit. Actually, one study looked at food triggers for people with mast cell disease and found that only 1.7% of the reported triggers were high histamine foods. Take that with a grain of salt though, because guess what? There's no formally agreed upon list of high histamine foods. If your head is spinning, so is mine, but stay with me. The point is, mast cell triggers are highly individual. They're not just going to be high histamine foods for everyone. And these diets are just not meant to be a long-term solution. They're a short-term tool to help identify triggers. The most important part is the reintroduction phase, which should be done carefully with professional guidance, especially if you have a history of anaphylaxis. The truth is, highly restricted diets can lead to nutrient deficiencies, malnutrition, a worsening gut microbiome, and a downward spiral of worsening symptoms. If this all sounds impossible or leaves you feeling frustrated, don't worry. There is a safe path out of this. I'll be doing an entire series on MCAS and how it affects how we eat, so if you're interested, follow along for part 2.